A portion of today's show is brought to you by Health Diagnostic Laboratory, Inc.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Well, if you've watched our show at any point, you've seen us talk with our friends from the Health Diagnostic Laboratory. We talk a lot about your health, but we're going to hear from one patient today whose life has been changed by the testing that's offered by HDL. Dr. Tara Dahl is here to talk about this little piece that we're going to look at.
Okay, so we're going to show you a video because I think just the visual image really tells the story really well. This is about a girl that I met when she was 11 years old, and she walked into my office, and we'll show her story, and then we'll talk a little bit about it after that.
Take a look.
I would love to tell you the story about Chloe, a little girl that came to see me when she was 11 years old. I remember when I first met her, she just really touched my heart. I could tell that she was frustrated. She'd been through a lot of doctors, and she really had no answers. She was in my office because someone told her she had high cholesterol, and somebody needed to fix that. But I strongly suspected there was more to the story. There was more we could uncover about what was really driving her disease. And I knew that we were going to need to go beyond traditional testing in order to get the answers that we needed.
Say hi, Chloe.
Even when she was a baby, I knew something was wrong because she was hungry. And she was always a big girl. Then she started getting, as she started getting older and bigger, headaches.
How old are you?
The psychiatrist would ask her, "Are you eating because you're sad?" She said no. And then she needed to take some deep breaths and think about how special she really was. She knew she was special. Told her all the time. But, yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Stand over there by the fire.
Our friends would look at me and just say, "Well, what are you feeding her? You're feeding her too much. You should watch what you give her. Give her carrots and give her celery." And it was frustrating. Finally, the doctor that we had told us, "Why don't you go see Tara Dahl? Because she does take care of some of these problems." And it was just a relief to know that, yes, it was something, it had a name, it wasn't something that I did wrong, and we had a plan. And it made us feel better, first physically and then emotionally.
I thought it was my fault, but it wasn't. I never thought that I was going to lose weight and that I was going to be happy with myself. It's a good feeling, and it's not even the looks of it, it's being healthy, you know? The symptoms, trying to lose weight, eating healthy, and it not working, it all added up. This is it. We're finally getting help, you know, someone that understands what your specific problem is, what's going on. And I want to get that message out to people. It's amazing what it's done for me and how it's changed my life so much and just helped me in every way possible. I don't have to worry about being self-conscious or worrying about what other people are thinking about me. I can be myself, who I really am. It's a new beginning.
Wow, Tara, I feel like that
I'm
is...
like in tears.
I know,
that is
the most impactful segment that we've had with you to date, I think, because you really show how one young woman's life was absolutely impacted and changed. And let's talk about weight gain and weight loss for a second, because you say that this particular disease affects 40% of people, and they never even know what it is. So all the people who are out there going, "I've tried everything. I've been told it's my hormones. I've been told that I eat too much. I've been told I don't exercise enough." What is it that they might have? What is the disease called?
What she had was insulin resistance.
Okay.
And, you know, she also had a thyroid condition that wasn't picked up with the traditional testing. So, you know, this little girl had been to pediatric endocrinologists, academic centers. She'd gone through so many doctors, had been poked and prodded so many times. And when she showed up in my office at age 11, I mean, she was just, you know, she wouldn't even talk to me. She's like, "I'm so sick and tired of doctors." And the thing is, I presumed, well, she's depressed because she's overweight. And I think that was probably the worst assumption I have, that first of all, if you're overweight, you're depressed, because that's not at all the truth. But what I began to uncover and realize is that she had a true genetic disorder that only advanced testing picked up on, that was never diagnosed with any of the traditional stuff. Within a year, we had treated her thyroid condition and got her on treatment for the metabolic disorder that she had. And when she was 12 years old, she'd lost 53 pounds after having suffered from obesity her whole life as she knew it. Now she's 18. And it's just, it's really, I show pictures of her and I teach doctors about how this kind of testing can literally change lives. I mean, I look and I see the 300-pound adolescents out there and I think, had we only had a chance to understand what was driving this a few years earlier, we'd be able to prevent this, significant weight gain that's happening. And there's so much we can do.
I do love that you're out there talking to doctors and educating doctors, because these are tests that your doctor needs to recommend that you have. You do need to come to Health Diagnostic Laboratories with a doctor's referral, right? So in this case specifically, these weren't only lifestyle changes that you made. Those are the easy changes to make, but you treated her in a very special way.
Right. Well, in her case, she had a pretty significant genetic thyroid disorder, as well as a pretty severe insulin resistance, and she was already eating low sugar diet. She'd literally been put through fat camps where they control what you eat and they make you exercise, and she would gain weight. And it was so, so depressing and so just deflating to someone's, hope when that happens. And when we were able to finally give her a piece of paper and say, we know what's wrong with you.
Right.
And you know what? Your doctor sent you here because you have high cholesterol, but this is not about cholesterol. There's nothing we need to treat when it comes to cholesterol. This is something else is driving this. We've uncovered it.
And something else is causing the cholesterol to be high as well.
The hope that was given to Chloe and her family and her mother especially was just, they were in tears in my office because they realized, wow, we knew something was wrong.
But nobody could tell us what was wrong, because traditional doctors, traditional medicine doesn't test this way. They just don't. And I've said this before, I get all riled up in our segments because I wish that every doctor would say, wow, this is something that I need to do for my patients, because it gives you such a more detailed look at what's going on inside your body.
It's life-changing.
Yeah.
If we can understand what's driving disease and illness and then change our diet and change our lifestyle and really be able to have an impact on that, it's incredible.
And this is something you can ask your doctor for. So talk to your physician if you are interested in getting any of the tests that they do at HDL Labs. We'll have Dr. Dahl and her colleagues back with us every Tuesday to learn more about how their tests can help you and your family. Wow, that video is just amazing. Can we see that video on your website too?
Sure, we can definitely.
Because I think that's worth watching again. You can get more information about the Health Diagnostic Laboratory by going to their website, hdlabinc.com. You can also call them at the numbers right there on your screen. I have a feeling that the phones are going to be ringing off the hook, because this is something that everybody needs to be doing. We have more broadcasts when we come back.